GoNintendo Webisode 518, the Mushana webcast.
I already forgot what the Pokemon was, but it sounds something like that.
Musharna.
Fushigi?
Fushigi!
Musharna.
I get it now.
Is it Moon Sharna or Moo Sharna?
Musharna. Musharna.
Musharna.
Oh, goodness. I'm tired.
Musharna.
Watched Whiplash. Saw Heat with J.K. Rowling's. This is pretty good.
I saw 47 Ronin.
I'm so sorry. How the hell was it? It wasn't bad. Was it better than
Musharna.
It depends on what you're going in to see. As in, like, it's not a samurai movie. You know, you got to take into account like it's like a sci-fi kind of action movie.
All right, let's do
If
this.
you're watching it like that, it's cool.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 518, the Musharna Podcast.
Musharna
The Fushigi Podcast.
is a psychic type Pokemon that evolves
I knew that.
from Muna, which you
I knew
probably did last week.
Is Muna like a little...
I don't
is
know.
this
I
thing
didn't.
like,
I was asleep last week.
is this thing like pink and blue?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, sure it is. Whatever you say.
Yeah,
it's got.
it's all those things.
Well, if you just listen to my description, you'll know what it looks like, won't you? Musharna is rounded bipedal Pokemon that has a tapir. What are those called? You know what I mean? TAPIR.
Oh, if we listened
How's
to
that
you, maybe we
pronounced?
knew what you mean. Booyah!
Its body is light purple, while its head is a pale pink. It has oval red eyes with 3 eyelashes, 3 exactly, and dark pink ovals on its forehead and cheeks. The tips of its 4 stubby limbs are dark pink. Dream mist,
Yeah, I know this thing. I know
seeps out of the mark on its forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dream mist.
Delicious dream
Give me a
mist.
hit. It's
I
this
think you've
mist
been hit with it already.
has various colors depending on what kind of dreams Musharna has eaten. It is most often a dark pink. Shapes and forms of the dreams
Pinks and
Musharna has
pies.
eaten can appear in the mist as well. It's number 518. It's a psychic type. Its abilities include Forewarn or Synchronize. Its hidden ability is Telepathy. And finally, we're getting even here. You're just as likely... My hair probably looks heinous.
Looks pretty great, yeah.
You're just as likely to find a male as you are a female. They are 3 feet tall and weigh 133 pounds. So they're a little on the chunky side.
Yeah, for only 3 feet.
It's all
I should
that
start
dream-
doing the
it's all that dream
Pokemon
eating.
body mass indices. Indices.
Why, make them feel bad?
Well, no, I just...
Is that,
Excuse me,
is
what's
that,
going on over there?
Is that Mashana talking to you?
We don't have any sponsors other than
Oh
Nicholas?
boy, what a perfect time to talk about it. This episode, plus all episodes for the next, I don't know, year, less than a year, are sponsored by Nicholas, not you, and whatever that was. Sea berries, I'm sure.
Sea
All
berries.
about sea berries. Nick Rain is here.
I am.
Nikki Hill is here.
hi.
Lube is here.
Fresh from the Seaberry harvest.
I'm here. That's what they make you do at Walmart now. Harvest the sea berries.
That's all we're selling.
What are those things that are bad for Mother Earth?
Microbeads.
Microbeads.
Don't use microbeads. You know where they end up? The ocean. And it kills the fish.
Yeah, but that's where
Scrubby
Seaberries
stuff.
come from.
You know the scrubby stuff in like the Bath and Body Works
Yeah.
soap? They make it without. I'm not.
Yeah, it's for exfoliation. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody.
But you can use all kinds
They
of other
swear
stuff.
by them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Don't
you can use like
I don't
lava
store
rocks.
those.
Yeah, you could use all kinds of things.
Mhm.
Pumice stone.
You could use
Yeah.
ground up shells. You could use sand. You
Why
could
would I use ground up shells? That'll stab
Salt.
me. And...
Sounds
There's
painful, right? I mean,
plenty
you
of
gotta get
other
the dead
ways to
skin off, but
exfoliate.
that's a little bit
So
too much.
please,
You know where
please
those
don't
ground
use
up shells end
microbeads.
up? The ocean.
Microbeads are in a lot of face washes, a lot of
Yeah.
body washes, a lot of hand soaps. Please be more mindful of
Yeah,
that.
but if my drain doesn't lead to the ocean, so it's okay.
Please don't.
What if
support-
they?
His
What if,
house is circular. It just keeps reusing the same water over and over again.
I know. So now I don't even need to like buy the new stuff. I just
Just
use
put
the
your hands
faucet and
That is
take a
gross.
drink. Crush your drink.
Flush the toilet, comes out the sink.
Yeah.
Use the sink, goes into the shower. It's its own ecosystem.
Gross.
Bundy iced tea. He's making Bundy iced tea all day
I
long.
exfoliate down my
You're-
throat, out my
you're-
keyhole.
Gross.
Oh, microbeads are delicious. So we
Burns a
were.
little coming out.
You get used to it. We, Mom Brain and I were in North Carolina for the
Yeah,
week.
you guys survived Shark Week in North Carolina.
We did. Mom Brain was very afraid to go in the water.
Yeah.
I did, though.
Wasn't it just a little bit south? They had a whole bunch of.
There was
Shark
a couple
attacks?
like right there.
Yeah, in the Outer Banks.
Yeah.
You saw them?
It was like the week before.
One of the restaurants had like a sign pointing to the restaurant.
Mhm.
There's one arrow pointing to the restaurant and it said food, and the arrow pointing towards the beach said sharks. I was like, smart. Good thinking.
So we were down there for the week.
And did you go in the ocean?
I went in the ocean once.
Did you swim in the ocean?
I bet he went.
I
in
went
up to his
waist deep
knees.
in the ocean.
Oh, waist deep.
Just to pee.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I mean, I like swimming in the
Okay,
ocean, but I didn't want to
I'm
chance
sure we all know this feeling. When you're in the water, it's not necessarily because of pee, but it's like colder water, and then you get that weird, like, just like a wave or whatever of warmer water,
it. Yes.
and it feels like relaxing or whatever. I was
And then you start
then it
to
makes you
pee.
I was in Northern California, and we were doing like interview days, so we were standing outside, and it's very dry, so it's not very humid or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was a breeze coming off of the lake that we were at. It was like a nice, cool breeze. Every once in a while, it would be a warm breeze, and you'd be like, "Where the heck is this coming from? There's nobody peeing into the air here."
That
But it
you
was
know
like-
of.
But it made me feel like I was curling up in bed underneath a blanket and just getting real cozy. It was really crazy.
Real cozy with urine.
You know what it was? Ancient aliens.
Well, I swam in the ocean with the sharks.
I just saw that episode of,
Which
China, Illinois.
ancient goddamn aliens.
I love that episode. So yeah, we were down there for a week. We just came back today. Literally like came back today. We got in like hour and a half ago. I got the site up to speed. Now we're doing the podcast. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys what the bad news. What the big news of the week was. You already know.
Even I know.
I guess
I don't
that's
even
true.
follow the site.
And I was gonna say you found it through another site, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I just love that is like Wikipedia your homepage, or you just randomly go there and you're like, let's see what's going
It's
on
not my
Wikipedia today.
homepage, but I guess it should be because I'll just go on and I read in the article of the day. You know, it's just fun
And
to
then
kind of
Then you go down the wormhole.
yeah. But I always they have the little news thing on the side, so
Yeah.
I always look at that.
So you read about Iwata, and then 4 hours later you're reading about sea berries.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you got there.
So today was Iwata's name is still on there, but I was reading about some island in the Lesser Antilles in the Caribbean. How there's a volcano that started erupting there in 1995,
And hasn't stopped.
and it hasn't stopped. Yeah, and
I read about that.
2/3 of the island is
It's funny. I
completely ruined
just
now.
read about that, and I don't know how I got there, but yeah, maybe a couple weeks ago I was reading about it.
Yeah,
That is funny.
like the old capital city's half burned,
Yeah,
covered with
yeah.
lava, and the other half is just all ash.
Man,
Did
Where
they
did I get
evacuate
that
the whole
from?
area though?
The 2/3 of the island is a a quarantine zone. You can't go. there.
R42, there wasn't a question this week just because I was so pressed for time. And I figured
everyone
we
had to
have,
evacuate or move to the northern
other things to talk about.
safe zone.
I don't want to be,
And they had to build a new
Insensitive.
airport and everything.
but I'd say let it happen there. if there's an outlet for any pressure underneath the Earth's crust, let it just happen in one space and let it bleed off.
Pretty much devastated the whole island's economy
crazy.
And everything.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that was my Wikipedia.
That's how that island was formed originally.
So anyway, yes, on Wikipedia, which is where Luke saw it.
It was crazy though. I apologize.
It's under recent deaths.
I got a text from Nikki Hill. What?
You didn't know when I texted you?
I had it open and I literally opened up Twitter because I had heard something, and then you texted me. So Nikki Hill texted me asking about Iwata, and that was in the split second when I had heard about it, and I was like, I don't know. Is it real? Because there's plenty of times where people do stupid hoaxes for deaths, be it celebrity or who else.
Andy Kaufman.
And I was like, I don't know. He seemed okay, but yeah, it was true. Mr. Iwata's no longer with us. He was 55 years old. He had been president of Nintendo for 13 years, 14 years, something like that. First non-bloodline member to run Nintendo. And he passed away due to the bile duct issue he was having, which we thought
he had surgery on a while
was
back.
taken care of. Yeah, he had the surgery, stepped away from
That's why he didn't do E3.
Nintendo's offices for a while, but was working from home and said I'm on the mend, blah, blah, blah. And then he got back into the swing of things, said he was fine. He just recently did their investors briefing. He was there like he always is, heading the briefing and answering questions from investors and all that good stuff.
You know what it was? They're just saying it was complications. It was really poor Wii U sales. And him just going...
That's terrible. The Japanese are very traditional people, and they're all about honor. So.
Well, wasn't there something about Wii U sales doing well or something?
Yeah, they're up again this year.
Too late for Mr. Iwata.
He made the ultimate sacrifice for the Wii U stuff.
Should have waited for NPD numbers.
So yeah, like I said, I didn't believe the news at first, and then I forget where I went. I went to someone specifically on Twitter to see if they had mentioned it, and then I found out that Nintendo NCL had posted up a PDF where they announced usually their investor stuff, and it was like a 2-line PDF, and it was like, Mr. Iwata has sadly passed away. Mr. Miyamoto and Mr. What's his face? Just Genyo. What's his name? Takeda.
Yeah.
He are filling in. They're the interim guys while they find an official replacement. And Miyamoto is fantastic, but I don't think he is the right one to take over the company because I don't know how much of the business side of stuff he knows. The other guy seems like he's a much better fit for all of that, but that's just speculation right now. We don't know who's taking over, and it's not going to be like Reggie. Reggie's not going to go over and take over Nintendo altogether. That would be insane.
Can't even handle America. That guy.
Well, Iwata was the head over here as well. He was heading up North American stuff. Just Reggie was next down the rung or next down the ladder. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know who they're going to appoint.
Did you apply for it?
You are like the 10th person to ask me that. I don't think they would take me. And I know nothing about business. So what?
Don't put that on me. What was I going to say? I was just going to say, outside of even video games and all that other stuff and whatever, he was a CEO that cut his own salary for the better of the country and better of everything else because he felt like a decision that he made.
He said,
didn't have a negative response or whatever, but sales didn't do well. He put a lot of confidence in those sales. They didn't do well, and he cut his own salary.
Yeah, he said when Nintendo had their sales issues for a while there, they're fine now. He had said, investors were like, why didn't you go through some layoffs and help offset the losses? And he's like, because then our employees will be worried about being laid off, and I don't expect them to be able to make good games if they're always worried about being fired. So he's like, I'll cut my own salary until we get to a better place. And that's what he did. And now the company's in a better place. So yeah, he definitely wasn't your traditional president of a company, without a doubt. I mean, that goes for a lot of people at Nintendo. But like, I mean, look at all the weird stuff Mr. Iwata has done, and I mean that in a good way. Like all the Nintendo Directs where he dresses up like characters, where he does like stupid skits with Miyamoto, or look at the E3 stuff he did like last year. They did the Smash Brothers thing where him and Reggie had a fake fight. And this year he was a puppet and all kinds of stuff. He got involved. And he came up from developing games like bottom of the barrel, like the lowest level you can get
in the 70s and 80s,
to running the company. He did everything he could absolutely do on his way up to the top. So he had the mind of a developer. He wasn't just a business guy, and he was definitely into games in general. So
yeah, I was reading about him on Wikipedia, obviously.
Of course.
It was like, he was like doing stuff on like graphing calculators, like games on like calculators, like making games on those.
And I read a thing, I didn't even realize it. His father was like totally against him doing anything game related.
He brought shame to his family.
And he didn't talk. He said he knew it was the right career choice for him, and he ended up not talking to his dad for like a couple of years just to like focus on that and show that he could do something with it. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Especially back then, because gaming was just
especially in Japan.
Yes.
To like be shunned by your family.
Exactly. But he did it because he said he felt it was the right thing to do, and he felt it was the path that was right for him. Somebody said something. R42, yeah, he was saying finding out on vacation must have sucked. It did. I really didn't believe it at first. It was crazy. But yeah, it's nobody was expecting it. I mean, I've often thought about when big names at Nintendo are going to croak, what's going to happen, like Miyamoto, which I figure is like another, 20, 30 years down the road. I didn't even think about Iwata because he was only 55, so I thought he had a lot more time, but it's not how it went. I don't think he had any kids. I know he had a wife. I don't think he had kids. And they said at the funeral, which was a 2-day thing, over 4,000 people showed up to pay their respects. Nintendo was there, obviously, and Takeda gave a speech. And there were fans and other employees and all that stuff. And obviously, since it happened, we've seen tons of tributes from people, be it music or animations or drawings or poems or video montages and all kinds of stuff like that. It's the first time I think the game industry has dealt with like a really, really like big name death. There not that any other developers aren't worthy or anything like that of all that stuff. What?
Steve Jobs?
No, the video game industry.
No.
Like I said, there's been other people that have passed away, but like Iwata is like a very huge name. So it was
also that was a very long
drawn
yeah,
out.
That's true. We knew it was.
There were a lot of steps or whatever, like plans being made along the way. This was just like
yep.
My favorite tribute, which I didn't look at and like really look at.
My favorite tribute, which I didn't look at.
No, at first when I didn't really check it out or like I didn't pay attention exactly to everything that was in it, is where Iwata is laying and all of the characters are like giving them
their
power-ups and stuff like that.
It's a tearjerker.
With Kirby giving him the tomato. Yeah.
Mario wants to give him a one-up mushroom. And he's sitting there. And
I was looking at a whole collection of stuff. I mean, there are a lot of great ones, but they definitely make you feel terrible. The one I like is the one I have up on my Facebook right now, which is because Iwata developed Balloon Fight.
Right.
And it's him with 2 balloons floating by. I was like, oh, God, you people. Somebody on Twitter was saying that, like, all this stuff is wonderful, but I hate seeing it. Right. But it's definitely cool how the fans have come together and the game industry in general has come together. And it's also sad because now that he's passed away, people are like, Nintendo should never change. Nintendo is different and that's great. And like Iwata was right about the Wii U and now we understand it. I'm like, what's like this is asinine. Like the guy passes away and that's a terrible thing and it's great to see all this this wonderful message for him, but then like
That happens with everything.
yeah, now that he's dead, everybody's like, oh, I get it now. I get it. This is great. Everything's great. So it's just, I mean,
Paul Walker got killed in a car accident. They're like, oh, Fast and the Furious is the greatest saga ever.
I'm not saying that Nintendo stuff
Heath
isn't.
Ledger passed away, and it's like, oh, he deserves Oscars and blah blah.
I'm not saying Nintendo stuff isn't worthy of that. I'm just saying I think there's a bit of false sentiment in some of the articles that are like, you know, now that we stand back and reflect, we see why Nintendo does what they do and how they are and how they're unique and interesting. I want to see where that sentiment is like a year from now, because I'm willing to bet it's not going to be the same thing. Because Mr. Miyamoto...
Metroid without Samus?
Exactly. Miyamoto
Forgot how angry I was about that.
Miyamoto has already said that Nintendo will continue on all the ideas and approaches that Iwata put forth because that's important to them.
What about Smash Brothers?
They said, you know, Nintendo being
unique.
unique.
No more Smash.
And Nintendo trying new things and Nintendo doing their own thing. That's very important to... That was very important to Mr. Iwata, and that's obviously very important to Nintendo. So they're going to continue that on. That's the thing. Like, Iwata's passing was like death of a part of Nintendo. He was like the embodiment of Nintendo, the way that Nintendo operates and the type of games they put out and how they approach their games. Obviously, there's a lot of other developers that make that happen, but he was the one that was steering the ship. So it's not just like a president dies and, you know, everybody's sad. It was like, you know, a piece of Nintendo. He was a piece of Nintendo. He was known to the fans. He had his own memes. He had, like, you know, tons of, like, people knew him, especially Nintendo fans. But
yeah, he's like one of the names that you recognize.
Like, you know, if you're, I'm not knocking the other companies, but like if you're talking to me about Sony, like, I know the people at Sony, and it would be terrible if they died, but you know, I don't think it'd be like the same impact.
Right. What's the Steve
Ballmer was Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft.
Yeah. Microsoft. I forget who Microsoft has, but
no, all the other companies, they hire celebrities to be like their face when they go to do events and stuff.
Yeah.
But Nintendo,
yeah, that's the thing. Nintendo's definitely different. They are not afraid to act silly and be themselves. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, come this time next year, see how people feel about Nintendo. Where we're learning about the NX, and you know, obviously, we're going to be seeing the impact Iwata had on Nintendo for years to come. Even though he's not around, we have the quality of life stuff coming, the Universal theme park stuff coming, the Vitality sensor. Sure, that's coming back.
Do you think?
No.
Is it unsensitive or whatever for me to ask that if it was out, it would have helped them?
I don't.
Yes,
I think
that is insensitive.
I think if the doctors couldn't do it, I don't think a Vitality sensor could. And the NX, obviously. So there's lots more stuff to come where we're going to see Iwata's impact on all those things. And I'm sure, and definitely there's software coming where he's going to still be a part of it. But it'll be interesting to see how developers will pay respect to him in the game credits and stuff like that from here on out.
Johnny Depp movie, Transcendence.
I've never seen it.
Neither have I. A lot of people haven't.
Just like it.
But he gets inside, like he dies, and then they connect his brain to a computer thing, and he
just like
takes over the world.
Darth Maul. If you read the books, that's what happens to Darth Maul. I mean, he also becomes a spider somewhere in there, but later on. They connect his brain to like the security system of some building.
Jafar.
Just like Jafar.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was like I said, a whole bunch of great tributes and stuff like that. Nintendo World Store had people show up, and I believe are still showing up. A steady stream, they said, every day of people coming in and writing messages and leaving, you know, whatever, Wiimotes and plush Nintendo characters and photos and all kinds of stuff like that. And the same thing at Nintendo's headquarters in Washington. People are going up to the sign out front and leaving stuff out there. And in Russia, the Japanese embassy, people went there and left stuff outside for him. And obviously the memorial service in Japan too. But
what about Nintendo from France? Is it France? Or is it just Nintendo Europe?
France. There's a France. Like there's a specific French division wide.
I don't know. Did they do stuff there? I just feel like Nintendo, like everybody's fans of Nintendo. They go out of their
France
way
has a lot of fans of Nintendo.
Did you, by chance, hear about the raccoon who lost its life in Toronto?
No.
Somebody tweeted to like the park service, not the park services, but like the town services or whatever, to be like, hey, there's this dead raccoon on the sidewalk at like 6 o'clock in the morning. A couple hours later, tweeted again. It's like, guys, it's still here. And then people in Toronto started coming and leaving notes, and like somebody printed out a photo of a raccoon and put it in a frame and set it there, and like they left flowers on them. And then like one of the head council members or whatever started tweeting stuff and is like, in honor of our raccoon friend, everyone is encouraged to leave their recycling bins open tonight. And like they did a candlelit vigil and stuff, and then like late at night that night, it took like 14 or something hours for somebody to do something about it. That's why everybody was leaving stuff. And then like a city worker came up and picked it up and was like, really? It's a raccoon, guys. And then they lit one last candle in its memory.
Well, Mr. Iwata was treated just a little bit better than.
Right. He didn't just get shoveled off the sidewalk.
The other cool thing was seeing how competitors were big enough to tweet out messages or post stuff on their Facebook or whatever. Like as soon as it happened, Microsoft said something and Sony said something as well. And then companies that
have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, they have to. They don't work in a bubble. They're all coworkers, even though like they're competitors.
I know.
They're all even
peers.
I mean,
peers.
It's nice to see them do that.
Thank
It's
you for
also
helping me with my
sad.
language.
It's also sad that we see
Or words.
that it takes something like this to see stuff like that. Like they're all in the game industry. Everybody should be nice to each other to begin with. It's sad it takes something like this to make that happen, but still nice to see. And then companies that aren't even really related to gaming were tweeting stuff about it. Like Skype tweeted out something. There was a hotel chain that had some Nintendo employees staying in it, and they sent special messages to all the people there. There were a lot of like non-gaming companies that said stuff, and of course, all of them are escaping me at the moment. Outside of Skype,
Amazon,
what was it?
Seaberry.
Amazon put up a message on their UK site. They had a picture of them and the date. Seaberry's, nothing from Seaberry's. What the hell was it? There were a whole bunch of them.
Home Depot.
No.
GameStop.
Well, it was cool. Yes, GameStop said something, obviously. But yeah, I mean, there's still stuff going on now, which is cool. There's a special shirt you can buy that some guy put together with 100% of the proceeds going to charity. One of them is 50% of it goes to Child's Play, and 50% of it goes to a cancer foundation.
I hate that.
So you get in on that. What?
Child's Play.
Child's
Chucky.
Play.
Oh, okay. He's turning a new leaf. He's a good guy now. He pretends he's nice and learns to the children and then kills them.
Video games killing children. That's what it is.
So yeah, I mean, sad obviously that it happened, but lots of great stuff coming out of it. And it'll be interesting to see what Nintendo does from here on out with their presentations and stuff like that. Like when the next Nintendo Direct comes out, of which I'm sure there will be one, who's going to host it? Are they going to mention something? Will Nintendo do an official video feature on it? They've sent out tweets and they put out a press release and they did Facebook stuff, and various employees have commented on it, which we'll read some of in a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens from here on out. I guess it depends on who they pick to officially take over for Iwata. But again,
That's my.
I don't know when that's going to be.
Because again, like he was a president of a company that was unlike
Yeah.
anyone else that you really know of. He took a lot of steps, and he was accountable for things. And
yeah, like the last president. I mean, I'm not saying he did a bad job. He didn't do a bad job, but he was like very
strict,
cold, stern. Yeah, Iwata much better fit the image of what Nintendo tries to put out there.
Get somebody who enjoys it and has fun and wants other people to have fun.
So, like I said, we'll read some comments from other people in the industry. We have something from Satoru Iwata, who is the Nintendo of Europe guy. He says, Nintendo of Europe is today mourning the passing of Mr. Iwata, Nintendo's global president. It is difficult to put into words the sadness we feel at this time. Mr. Iwata was a strong leader, a unique figure in the gaming industry, and an important part of Nintendo's history. He was a visionary in every sense of the word, and we will miss him dearly. Just as Mr. Iwata challenged us to always push forward, we will ensure his legacy lives on through our ongoing work to always surprise and delight our fans. At this time, our thoughts are with his family. Yeah, that's an important part. I forget who said it. I don't remember who it was, but they're like, the best thing you can do if you're sad or if you want to pay respects or whatever and you don't get to see any of these people in real life is get together and play some games.
Buy our games.
Reggie said, Mr. Iwata is gone, but it will be years before his impact on both Nintendo and the full video game industry will be fully appreciated. He was a strong leader for our company, and his attributes were clear to mostly everyone: intelligence, creativity, curiosity, and a sense of humor. But for those of us fortunate enough to work closely with him, what will be remembered most were his mentorship and especially his friendship. He was a wonderful man. He always challenged us to push forward, to try the new, to upset paradigms, and most of all, to engage, excite, and endear our fans. That work will go uninterrupted. I mean, there's obviously other news happened this week, but I don't feel right covering it like Amiibo stuff and all. Yu Saito, who was the man that worked on Seaman, talked about Mr. Iwata's passing. What'd you say?
Seabeats?
Seabeats. He says, I heard the tragic news about the passing of Nintendo's president, Iwata. I can't believe he's gone. I first met Iwata back in 1996, so it was the time before you would typically see him in a suit. It was at HAL. I remember that he always carried around a Mac PowerBook, which was quite rare in the game industry. I think that formed a bit of a connection between us, a feeling that we shared the same interests. It was around a year after that when I saw him with a G3 PowerBook, which even I had hesitated to buy. But I remember thinking, this guy really loves Macs. It wasn't until a little bit later that I got a chance to work with him. It was around the time when Seaman was taking the world by storm, and I was really busy working on planning for the sequel and taking interviews and stuff. And he says that he confirmed a rumor that we heard a long time ago that he was working on a sequel to Seaman for the 3DS, but something happened with development and the project fell apart. But he was working very closely with Mr. Iwata for a while there. And he was saying it's sad because now he's got like no reason to go visit Nintendo now because he knows other people there, but he used to just like pop in and say hi to Iwata and they'd hang out and BS about games and whatever. But that's not going to happen anymore. So that sequel, I guess we're never going to see. But
unless it was Iwata who put the brakes on the whole thing.
No, he said it wasn't. He said it was his own doing. He said things came up and he just couldn't get a grasp of what he needed to do. I guess I should do NPD because it is NPD. We should have some fun stuff. And NPD is fun. So we had NPD.
Oh boy.
Top 10 software sales for June 2015.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, number 2, yes.
Software sales.
Yes. Batman.
Batman, number 1.
Yeah.
You have number 1 and number 2.
You know what makes me really want to get that game? Batgirl.
What about her?
She's in it.
I know.
Downloadable DLC. But now, see, because I'm waiting, because I don't have the coin to spend on a PS4.
The ducats.
So,
One in the realm.
The crowns.
this realm is bone dry with coin. Anyway,
Let's see.
I'm hoping it's going to
Call
come
of
out
Duty.
in like a special edition with all
I'm
the
sure it
DLC available.
No, Call of Duty, number 10, yes.
Battlefield.
I want to say Jurassic World. Lego Jurassic World.
Battlefield, no.
Ooh,
Lego
good
Jurassic
guess.
World, number 3.
NBA 2K15.
NBA 2K15,
NBA Jam.
number 9.
Oh,
MLB 2K15 or MLB something.
FIFA. How about that new? It's not Tiger Woods anymore. It's like Rory McRory golf or something.
Blood something. Bloodborne,
Bloodbath.
blood fart.
No Bloodborne.
What fart?
No, Bloodborne I think was right. But that's not it.
Bloodborne is correct, but it's not on the list. You're
Shit.
missing number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8.
Another Lego game. No more Lego games.
What's that this month? I don't know.
The ones that I knew, I already mentioned.
Assassin's Creed. Creed.
Isn't there a Tom Clancy game that came out?
Tom Kennel.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, number 6, yes.
Man, number 6.
Still on there,
Holy
yeah.
moly.
Smash Bros.
Is there any DS games that came out that were
I couldn't tell
cool?
you.
That are cool.
Man, we're really
Number 4 is Do Michael's favorite game.
Oh, The Witcher.
The Witcher.
That's been out for a while. That's why I didn't.
Number 5 is a Nintendo title.
Mario Kart?
Mario Party, Animal Crossing.
The
Yoshi.
Squidbillies, the game.
Squidbillies, the game, yeah.
Splatoon.
Splatoon, yeah,
Splatoon.
staying strong at number 5.
Yeah.
Great
What
job.
about,
Splatoon.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat X,
Yeah.
number 8. So now all you're missing is number 7. You own it. I own it. You own it.
The newest version of it?
Oh no, that can't
What the
be.
heck do I own?
The Dead Island game, Left for Dying Light.
Left for Dying Light.
Brendan's at the Nintendo World Store right now.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
take some pictures.
it's not
He's sending
Destiny
me.
because Nikki Hill doesn't own Destiny.
Do Michaels owns it. Sloppy Deuce owns it.
Wait, let's go back to me. I own it.
Frosky owns it.
Sorry, back to me. Oh, Grand Theft Auto. 5,
Grand
6,
Theft Auto
12,
5.
Yeah.
18.
There you
So
go.
it's back on there because they're remaking it.
You did your list.
And I do own it, but I own the 360 one.
Looks like there's people there. So yes, that's your top 10.
So good for Squidbillies, the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Had a full month and was still in the top 10 again.
yeah.
Through the first 6 months of 2015, combined sales of the Wii U and the 3DS systems increased by more than 20%, and sales of the 3DS hardware has increased by more than 40% over last year's sales at the same point. So there you go. There's your NPD numbers. And we have Mr. Takeda's full statement from Mr. Iwata's memorial. He says, as we gather here today for a joint funeral with Nintendo and Mr. Iwata's family, I would like to share my heartfelt condolences. President Iwata, allow me to call you Iwata-san, just as I always used to. Iwata-san, you left us far too soon. Having just chaired our shareholders meeting the other day on June 26th, the news of your sudden death has left all the employees overcome with a deep sorrow. The late Yamauchi-san passed the baton to you in naming you the president of Nintendo in 2002. And the 2 senior managing directors of the company, Shigeru Miyamoto and I, have been assisting and working alongside you. Being rather short-tempered myself, the thing that I am most deeply struck by is that you were a true leader in every sense of the word, overflowing with compassion for people. You always maintain a two-way dialogue, even with the next generation of employees, or with much younger members of the development and marketing teams, or with employees outside of Japan whose different customs and cultures can make communication challenging, sometimes even admitting your own mistakes to them. You demonstrated this through your belief that people could eventually come to understand one another, and your strong conviction that the best way for us to grow is through patient communication, even if it took several times, a dozen times, or seemingly endless discussion. You succeeded in planting the seed in employees' hearts that in order to solve an issue, there's a fundamental cycle whereby you make a hypothesis, execute the plan, see the result, and make adjustments, and by which you have caringly nurtured these seeds to sprout and mature into plants. Until now, our successors and the younger generation would take a few first steps and then look back at you for guidance because they could not tell if they had chosen the right path. Today, they cannot ask for your guidance anymore. However, I am sure that they have already made the firm determination that they will continue on their own, making the hypothesis, executing the plan, seeing the results, and reflecting on the results to improve and adjust by themselves. In the face of your unbelievable passing, it will surely take some time before we can emerge from this deep sorrow. Please know, however, that the seeds you have planted and the plants that have sprouted will put forth small flowers as they bring smiles to the faces of people around the world, blossom into a grand flower bigger than even you, our leader, Iwata-san. Together with Miyamoto and others of our generation, we swear in our hearts that we will continue our efforts so that someday we can report and present to you the blossoming of these flowers. May you continuously watch over and guide us, managers, our employees, and your family. On behalf of all of us, I would like to offer my heartfelt condolences and sincerest prayer. May you rest in peace, Iwata-san. That was very nice. So yeah, there's some pictures out there of the funeral if you want to see them. Obviously not, like the inner circle of funeral, but people lining up and all that good stuff.
Open casket.
Casket. I don't think so. It was the puppet in the casket. So,
Well,
go ahead.
the truth of it all is Iwata knew what he needed to do for the NX, so he gave himself to put a little bit of himself.
So he's
inside
actually
each system.
in the NX. Yeah. Wow. So it's powered by light force.
True Iwata box.
Oh, that's right. The Iwata box. So yeah, rough week for Nintendo fans. But everybody's been dealing with it in their own way, and it's
probably
a
rough week for his family too.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, I guess sure. But yeah, we've been trying to keep tabs on all the cool stuff out there and all the stuff you've been sending our way and tweets and all that good stuff. So if you have anything else, please send it our way. We'd be happy to share. But it's going to be interesting to see where things go from now. I don't know, and I'm sure a lot of people at Nintendo don't know, but the show must go on. There are a whole slate of games releasing this year. There's stuff in development. There's new hardware in the works. So, I mean, unfortunately, it seems like seems like the worst time possible he could pass away because there's big things going on, brand new things for Nintendo. Like
I hope I don't
earlier.
die at an inconvenient time.
Anytime's convenient.
Really? How's next Tuesday for you?
Mobile, what's going on Tuesday? Movie night? I'll be good. Mobile and the quality of life and the amusement park and the NX and all other stuff. So I'm sure, as you could tell, if you follow news regularly on Go Nintendo this week, things that usually come out at a certain time didn't come out at that time this week. So you can see things are being shaken up a little bit, and Nintendo's, reorganizing things. So Nintendo Europe didn't put out their game releases press release on Monday because that was the first full day after Mr. Iwata passed. And then Nintendo of America puts out their press release for digital games on Thursday, and it didn't come out until much later than that. So they're shifting things. People are obviously upset, and I'm sure some people have taken off time and are taking time off work. And
or they're like, no boss to watch over me.
we can do whatever we want. Put out Nintendo's closing. That's what's happening.
He's watching over even closer now, and he's watching over every.
And then so wouldn't that mean they would have put out the press release then?
I'm just saying that he's still with everyone.
He can see further than he ever saw before.
Are you going to talk about
I'd be interested though. Let's see. It's like, wouldn't that be the first thing when you became president?
The Rainbow Road to heaven.
He took the Rainbow Road. Yeah, you heard about that, right?
What?
There's a rainbow over Nintendo's headquarters in Japan the day after he passed.
Did hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a picture of it.
He took the Rainbow Road to heaven.
You got a picture?
In a little Mario Kart.
Wouldn't that be like isn't it like one of the first things when you become a leader of something is you have your second in command who takes over for you in case something were to happen?
That's why they have the two people there.
Yeah.
Two people. But like wouldn't he have like a kind of figured somebody?
Well, it's not like the
case?
president of the United States. It's a little bit different. He's got the two managing directors, which were Takeda and Miyamoto.
Now it's up to them to choose somebody.
Well,
it's going to be Link. He is our hero.
What's probably going to happen is a group of shareholders,
right.
including them, is going to vote. Yeah, but I would be surprised if they went with somebody outside of Takeda. It seems like Takeda's the right guy to go with. And if he's not the one that they do, I don't know who they're going with. I got no idea.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was Takeda the one that wrote that?
Yeah.
It's going to be Charles Martinet.
He's been at Nintendo.
It's me, a president of Nintendo now.
Mr. Takeda's been at Nintendo for a very long time. Like he was involved with making the first Nintendo game. So he's definitely a big part of the company's history. He's just not one of the one that's like out in front of the camera and doing events and stuff like that. So we shall see. Next E3 is definitely going to be very interesting. But yeah, with Nintendo Directs, I guarantee those are going to continue. It'll just they're going to be different. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Iwata Asks anymore.
No more Iwata Asks. No, they added a message to the Iwata Asks official site saying, like,
please don't ask anything else.
Please come here to remember our great friend and leader, Mr. Iwata. But yes, he wasn't working on any as far as we know, so there's not like one more coming or anything like that. But yeah, now there's going to have to be somebody else asks. Whoever takes over will continue that.
Reggie asks.
As much as I hated doing those. Reggie, yes, I don't think so. See, that's why Mr. Iwata could do those things, because he was a game developer. He knows what it's like to develop a game. Reggie doesn't know. Reggie's going to be like, I developed a Bigfoot pizza. What do you guys think about pizza?
I was wondering if he's like sitting in his office working at Nintendo, thinking to himself, I could probably go back to
Pizza Hut.
I'll get back into pizza.
Well, no, I mean, Pizza Hut clearly doesn't need them. They have great
pizza-
ideas like the hot dog pizza.
Dog crust.
Yeah, I saw that. We're gonna do that, right? Should we do that tonight?
I love Pizza Hut.
We should do
I
it.
don't think I could do that.
Should we wait for John the Savage to join us for that? You know how much he loves hot dogs.
Can't wait for that guy. Come on, he was on like a 2-month trip. He went.
We
didn't
drove
even
past
visit.
his house. We should have picked one up and. Well, I don't know if we drove right past his house, but we drove through his
Yeah,
estate.
In
like
my
2
mind,
minutes away
I
from his
cannot
house. Yeah.
combine the
95.
flavors of hot dog and pizza.
We were. Well, yeah.
It doesn't seem like something that would go good together.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I think you should do it.
Now we're gonna get this goddamn pizza
Robbie
today,
Cowboy
aren't we?
asks.
I mean, maybe it's like a Hawaiian pie, but without the.
No, it's gonna be
Pineapple.
great.
All right, if it tastes like hors d'oeuvre hot dogs, okay.
Hold on. Did you ever get one of those hot dog pretzels from Auntie Anne's?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
What's that have to do with a pizza?
yeah.
It's probably what it tastes like. The crust
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess
wrapped
that's what,
in.
you want to know what we're doing today. I guess that's what
we
we're
gotta
gonna
do it. I put all sorts of disgusting.
We're
food
coming,
in my
Iwata.
mouth, so-
We're coming to see him.
Well, even if it's
Oh,
disgusting.
did you
I'll
hear
still
about
eat it.
KFC's new thing? It's not here yet. I don't know if it'll come here, but it is the chizza, which is
The cheetah, dead cheetah.
imagine everything that's on a pizza, so cheese and let's say sausage and sauce,
Yeah, tomato
but
sauce.
instead of crust, it's a piece of chicken. It sounds horrible and it looks horrible, but it's a real thing.
I want it so badly.
Well,
it
look,
sounds so good.
that,
How is that different from like a chicken patty with like pizza sauce and
That's
cheese?
what
on
it is, but nobody does that.
yes, yeah,
Who does that? Or no, you mean like chicken parmesan?
Yeah, chicken.
Yeah.
It's the chicken.
I guess that's what
parm.
it is,
I
but
guess.
but they coined the term chizza. It's on your cheat day.
Maybe it'll come here.
Huh?
I mean,
Little cheat day chizza?
the hot dog pizza was in Korea for a long time, and I was like, that's one of those things that'll
Made-
never
made-
come here.
Made
Here
a
it is.
dog.
Made a real dog, yes.
Oh, you know what else is now going to come here? It's going to be Pizza Hut's completely run by cats. Just like
Oh,
in
that's right. I heard
was that
about
a
that stuff.
Japanese video too?
I was telling Mom Brain about. Did you hear about the railway station in Japan that had the cat mascot? So there's this railway station that had it was falling apart. Like nobody was going to use it. They were going to have to shutter, and the company was like, "We need something to get people come here and start using our system." So they were like, "Let's get a mascot." So they picked a real life cat. I forget what they call it, but they
Simba.
dressed it up in a ceremonial conductor's outfit, and they put it out on a pillow in front of the station, and it'd be out there for 2 hours, and you just pet it or whatever, and it saved the company. That was 15 years ago, but it was in the news because the cat just died. They had a successor to the cat that's already working there. I
Did the
guess.
cat appoint its own successor?
The name of the cat was literally whatever the first cat's name was. 2. That's all I know.
Snowball too.
But they said,
Why wasn't your sister named Raw Meat too?
if only we could go back in time. They said over 3,000 people came to the ceremony to see the cat and
Oh, I mean,
Send it off.
if that's, I could see that. Because
Oh, I would
if
go.
you were a commuter and you use that train
yeah,
every day, you
Yeah.
saw that
saw a
cat
Yeah,
5 days a week.
Twice a day.
Yeah, for 15 years.
And what if you were an
that
employee
cat's a part of your life?
and that
Yeah.
cat saved your job?
that's
Now,
exactly how people feel about Iwata.
Now,
they saw
you go
him,
into Grand
they
Central
played his
Station
stuff.
every single day, and you pass by the same homeless guy sleeping in the same corner every single
Do you
day,
pet him?
and then
Do
he
you pet
passes
him?
away.
Is he
Do you go to
furry?
his funeral?
You know what?
Do you go to his funeral when they throw him into a landfill?
Did you give that homeless person food every day? Did you socialize with him? Did you
Some
pet
people
him?
might.
What happens when a homeless person
Cat's name
dies
is
and there's
Tama.
nobody
Donated
to
to science.
for sure?
There's a
Mostly,
good
most
one.
of the time, cadavers.
But let me see
Yeah.
if I gotta find.
Imagine
the
that's a
whole-
body
There
that's in
we
tough
go.
shape.
They
Here's
donate-
Tama.
That's why
They
it's
donate
donated
to science.
Here's
not
Tama
to,
in the
like,
full
donors,
outfit.
Right.
because-
Here's Tama
Yeah,
in the
it's-
full outfit.
it's like
Obviously, very
medical
happy to be
students.
doing
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
Show that on it. Oh, you can't see
Serious
anything.
somewhere.
There you go. So yeah, rough week, but show goes on.
Happy cats, make it
Happy
all
cats.
better.
Mr. Iwata would want us to play games, be happy. So that's what we're gonna do. Damn it.
So what did we play this week?
I
Let's
played.
play-
Well, you go ahead.
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
what'd you play? Nikki Hill, go ahead.
Nikki Hill, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead,
Oh,
Nikki
you
Hill.
guys. I played some Box Boy.
Oh,
From Owl
yeah.
Laboratory.
All right.
One of my favorites.
Did he grow into a box man yet?
No, he's still.
Oh, wait, is that the one where you place the 4? You only have 4 boxes to use?
You
and
have a
after you-
limit, so yeah, mostly 4.
Oh,
but you
yeah,
have
but
5
and then
or
after you
something.
place like the 4th one, the first one disappears or whatever. or
You
whatever
can,
the limit is.
you can shoot out up to 4
Yeah.
on some levels, but then like you can release those and like you can use them, but then the next box that you start to
Then
place,
they disappear.
they disappear.
Cool.
Um,
You liking it?
some good challenges. I played
Yeah,
it.
it's got a very nice difficulty curve. It's not like
Now that's based off Box Trolls the movie, right?
Not at all.
sure.
Starring the delightful John
John
Heder.
It just doesn't look anything like it.
It's Square Kirby. I like to call
They
it.
were originally thinking of using Kirby, and then they were like, let's do somebody new, like a box. Screw well, that's
wait a minute. This box character needs a name. How about Box Boy?
It's a boy, right?
Great. Box
well,
Man.
they were like,
sounds
let's use Kirby, and they're like, not Kirby. How about something completely different? And somebody was like, how about instead of a circle, we do a square? And they're like, that's it.
Trapezoid Man didn't sound right.
It sounds like a terrible meeting where like, all right, let's make this a character. And somebody draws like 4 lines and puts 2 dots, and they're like, there he is. And his name's Box Boy, and they're like, yes,
Or-
we've done it.
Or it could be like the old thing. It's like, they just draw out like simple sketches of how it works. And it's just like nobody even acknowledges the fact they just continue progressing with the game and they never replace that
Yes, he's the
square.
placeholder character. Next
Yeah.
Or was it, like it was like the leader of the meeting was like, "You guys are all idiots. I can create better characters than you. Look at this, Box Boy. Now you think of something." And he walks out.
And everyone's like, so Box Boy?
He was pretty serious about this.
I'm good with Box Boy.
No, but I was enjoying it. And then I played on the way home. I played some Gunman Clive. I was going to call him Clive Gunman. Clive Gunman 2.
Gunman Clive.
That game
Wait,
is
first one or
ridiculous.
second one?
Second one. It's ridiculous.
They're doing.
It's
all right,
apparently larger than the first one.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything. But,
Please don't.
dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
That's in the first trailer, I think. So you're
Oh.
cool.
But no, the game's off the hook. It gets crazy. And it's
Good.
challenging as heck because if you die anywhere in the level, you got to start from the beginning again.
It's a fun game.
It's really frustrating.
That
in some
guy that
spots.
made that is combining both games and porting them to Wii U in HD. So you get Gunman Clive Collection on Wii U.
I don't know if I'll play it again. Like I'm still in part 2 and I'm struggling. There's some time issues, I guess, for me.
Part 2 is definitely harder than the first one.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but I really like it, and the music.
Excuse me.
I couldn't tell you what the music sounded like right now, other than just amazing. Really dig it.
It's got a really unique sound.
And then doing a Legend of Zelda puzzle,
That counts. I'll allow it.
and I think the only other thing that I've played is Lego Jurassic World, which I just like.
It's good.
I finished Jurassic Park, but after I played the first level of Jurassic Park, I was like, I wonder if I can just like run around and go into the other worlds. Apparently you can, and it went right into a level. And I
So
was
you
like,
bought the Wii U one?
Yes. Yeah. Wanted to play it.
It's
And
good. It's
now I
fun.
played it. It is, but like the thing for me, it's like it's almost too much about collecting pieces. So rather than like getting into like action, it's like smash every single thing on the screen. And if you're playing single player, it takes hours
I
to
mean,
get
that's
through something.
definitely like a huge part of Lego games as far back as I can remember.
I know, but I feel like it's more about collecting the pieces now. Like you have to collect so much more to become a true survivor. I feel like if you're playing single player, you should only have to collect like half as much than if you're playing multiplayer to be a true
Yeah, I
survivor.
agree with that.
Because when there's 2 of you, you can separate
Yeah.
and clear an area. But when it's just you, it takes forever.
And there's a lot to beat up and break open.
And then the other thing is like, you know, don't make me do so much because I want to come back and explore more with other characters so I can open up other things and get other boxes and stuff like that. So just lower that bar just a little bit. And so I can get through it, like get into like some of the action, because there are some action moments that are pretty cool the way they handle it. But it's
you figure out that problem with the cage you had when you were playing here?
I didn't get to that part yet.
Oh.
It's a different character. I don't think you're supposed to get into it.
Okay.
And I broke the game. Yeah.
You pulled the lube.
There was something else that I did, I think, that wasn't supposed to happen. I kind of froze it, but yeah, it's a game. It's got its glitches, but
I mean, the Lego games are pretty notorious for being glitchy
because there's so much.
But I mean, they crank those suckers out like crazy, so I'm not surprised there's glitches in there.
They crank them out, and they're full of content. Like,
yeah,
they do a really great job.
I would want to blow my brains out if I worked at TT Games, because let's say a year and a half, 2 years on a game, and you finish up like Lego Jurassic World, and you push that off your desk, and they're like, all right, Lego Avengers, do it. And you're like, oh my God, I have to do this all over again. Yeah. And it never stops. It's Lego everything. They have Lego Dimensions coming out now.
I'm thinking they do, I think they probably reuse a lot of assets or something.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And they just plant is a plant, tree is a tree, or whatever. Yeah. But then some of the little figures almost look like they belong in another game. Also, sure there's sounds. I heard some sounds when I feel like I shouldn't have heard sounds, and it sounds like R2 or something.
I wouldn't doubt that.
And I think they would purposely add that in just to be fun. But I don't know. The music is good. The music is kind of from the movie and adapted.
I mean, for as quickly as they crank them out, they're fun games.
Yeah,
they're decent.
They're just jam-packed full of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not rushed jam-packed. It's well thought out. On the way here, I was thinking how fun it probably is to work on a team like that, because they just sit at a table and brainstorm ridiculous things.
Well, as far as I know, they actually build out a lot of the stuff with real Legos to plant. They put it out on the table and build stuff out and then see what'll work.
That was the other thing I was thinking. There's computer. I guess for the most part, big Lego models are usually done they're mapped out with computers, like a computer program, rather than a person building it all out and then drawing a schematic for it. But all of their things are when you watch them, when you're hitting A and you see a thing being put together, you're like, wow, these are real pieces and it's really working the way it's supposed to.
See, that's why I'm excited for Lego Dimensions, because that they're gonna put a ridiculous amount of polish on, because that's their next big thing, the Toys to Life game, and I'm really excited. I mean, it has The Simpsons in it, so that's all I needed to buy it. I'm excited for that, but it's got Portal and Back to the Future and Portal, yeah,
really,
Portal franchises in it, yeah. And everybody can go in anything. So Doctor Who could be in Springfield, or Shell from Portal could be in The Wizard of Oz, and but yeah, that's going to be jam-packed full of content, but it's
that's the server.
A million different licenses, so they're each
it's
license.
Online though?
No, it's a regular
wow
Portal game.
It's going to be a huge game.
As in Lego Portal, you put characters on the portal.
Right. But, is that how they're including it?
What do you mean?
Is that how they're involving Portal?
No, they're just involving Portal because they're involving Portal. I don't know how the deal came about or why they picked that. Like I said, so there's Simpsons, there's Doctor Who, there's Back to the Future, there's Wizard of Oz, there's Scooby-Doo, there's Portal, there's
Lord of the Rings.
It's they threw darts at the wall and they're like, yep, we want all of these, and then there's more coming that we don't know about.
They have Warner Brothers content. They have DC Comics.
Yeah.
But they also have Marvel.
Do they have Marvel?
Right?
Lego Adventures?
Right? They have, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there a Lego Spider-Man?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't think it was Lego Spider-Man.
I don't remember. There's so many goddamn Lego games that I can't remember.
Lego, it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, there was that. Very good.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Star
that's
Wars.
true.
And Harry Potter.
Star Wars.
Harry Potter is Warner Brothers. Right?
Harry Potter is Warner Brothers. Yes.
Okay, so
Star Wars is not.
wait,
Star Wars
Warner
is
Brothers.
Disney now.
It's Warner
I
Brothers.
own the Death Star.
Blue, what are you playing?
I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online. That's it. All the time. Love it. It's great. It's my new. It consumes all of my free time, all my game playing. I was playing a little bit with Raw Meat and Slabadoos and Do Michaels, but lately I've been playing solo because obviously vacations and some other stuff going on.
Yeah, Do and I are like, you and Sloppy Deuce are going to play together, and me and Do Michaels are going to play together.
Well,
we're so far behind.
well, no, but my other character's only an 11.
Oh, okay, all right.
I haven't done anything.
I think I am 11.
Yeah, I haven't
That's
done anything on that continent.
A man's doing a second playthrough while he's still doing his first playthrough.
Yeah, but it's
That is
different.
dedication.
It's different places.
Right.
It's completely. There's 3 different.
Like we will,
continents.
one character will never be able to go to where the other one is.
So I have my first one on this one continent, and my second one, it's all different quests and everything down here, and that's the one with.
How do people create these
It
worlds?
It is a humongous world.
It's insanely huge. I don't get how they do it. I really don't.
It's really. It's like practically 3 games in one.
Like
Almost
we were
4 games in
playing
one.
Dead Island, or Dying Light, I mean. And we were like, man, this is a huge game. And then like we played this, and Do and I were like, there's no comparison. Like you can fit the whole game. You can fit Dying Light in like one of the tiniest spots in Elder Scrolls. It's insanely huge.
That's online.
Yes, always
Yeah.
online. Always online.
So you're constantly playing in a server. So they could constantly be adding more.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
world.
They're always doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Not that you need more because there's so
I
much.
collect a lot of Nern Root.
Nernroot.
We all remember that.
Good to get back to basics.
Yep.
Is that it then?
No,
Yes, you said
sorry,
that's
folks.
Yeah, that's been it. I love it.
it. Mom Brain,
I recommend it to anyone who's an Elder Scrolls fan.
what are you playing?
Rain,
What
I
you
don't want to
playing
hear
this week?
anything from
I
you
didn't
unless
play-
it has to do with Nernroot.
I didn't play anything this week. I sat on the beach.
You
was
played Shop at
great.
Home.
Oh, I did do my grocery shopping from the beach.
You didn't do
yesterday.
anything with the family? You know, family
No.
fun games? Not
Well, and we
once?
played bingo
There you go.
last night.
Bingo.
Bingo.
That was
I didn't play much of anything this week because I was on vacation, but I did play Smash Brothers Smash Brothers Wii U. I brought my Wii U down to North Carolina with us because a lot of the family plays video games and there's a lot of Smash fans. So I played Smash. I played 3 matches. And I beat everybody, and I was so proud of myself because I think they're tough. I think they're really good. Not to say that you guys aren't tough, but like I play with you and John Stout,
you
so I
know
have
our
a feel
tricks.
for you, yeah. But these guys, so I played as Rob, and I won.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, I'll try
Oh,
something
time to get a
different.
little cocky now because I won as well so easily.
No, I was playing as someone that I thought would make it easier for them
I
to
play
kill
as
me.
Jigglypuff,
So I
guys,
played as Jigglypuff.
and I still kick your
And
butts.
I won. And then I was like, all right, I'll just do somebody random. And I went to Captain Falcon, and I still won. I was so proud of myself.
Oh,
And one of my
you're just the
cousins was
best.
like, Jesus, you're good. I was like, all right, I'll stop playing. I'm sorry.
well, because he played and he won you won the first round, and he was like, I won, and I was like, guys, get used to it. And Raw Meat was like, no, beginner's luck, and then boom.
Before I went in, I said, I haven't played in like a month or so. I'm going to be a little rusty. And then I won. And I said, I can't believe I won, but I said beginner's luck. And then I won again. And then I didn't say anything. I picked Captain Falcon, and I was like, okay, I'm done. But yeah, Smash Brothers is still fun, man. So that's all I played, just those 3 Smash Brothers matches. But I always want to play more. So that's it. All right, we're not doing.
It's more fun when you win.
We're not doing music today because
Apparently,
didn't feel
Did
right.
you use one of my creator levels?
Oh no, I forgot about them. I should have. Next time. So yeah, this feels. No, we didn't do 8-player, but we did get a 5-player Smash going. And that's the other thing. I brought every controller you could think of to make sure everybody could play with what they wanted. And we had GameCube players. We had Wii U Pro Controller player. And we had just Wiimote player.
Oh,
I know.
that's rough.
And then my one cousin plays with like everything. Like he's pretty good with everything, which I was like, man, that's useful. But his favorite is 3DS. He likes using the 3DS in the Wii U version because they let you connect it and play that way. And I was like, oh, that's like the last one I would pick. Maybe I'd pick Wiimote
just
last.
Wiimote. I remember like in college using just Wiimote on with Brawl.
Brawl, yeah.
And it was funny too because playing with you versus then playing with a bunch of drunken college kids, I was like still winning, but I was like, this is horrible, like using it.
Yeah, I can't do just Wiimote. I definitely try. Oh, there was a classic controller as well. Yes, Laxter.
Yeah, classic controller is not bad.
Literally every controller type you can use was used. People tried all of them, and people played with all of them.
With bongos? Used the bongos?
No bongos. But most popular was GameCube controller, closely followed by Wii U Pro controller. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't want anybody's excuse when they were playing to be like, I lost because I don't have the controller I want.
I used the Wiimote, and that's why.
But like, I understand if I went to go play Smash somewhere and they're like, "Here's a Wiimote," I'd be like, "Oh,
maybe
no."
that's what you should have played with as a real challenge.
Give them a better chance. Yeah, I'd be totally useless. I know that I wouldn't be able to do anything. So yeah, that was that. All right, that's our show. It's been a rough week. We'll have a more regular show next week, but I think this week's post North Carolina show was way better than last year's because we were both like really dead tired. I remember it being like terrible
last year.
Yeah, but this
I
year
feel
we're
pretty
doing
good
okay.
this year.
Yeah,
I said that to you this morning. I said I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm in good shape today.
Yeah, that's why I sent you guys a text just to make sure she was going.
Hey,
the problem is
started.
5. We got up at 5.
Left by like 5:45.
Not bad.
The problem is I'm up all night. So I was going to bed earlier than I usually do, which, I can't really force myself to do it. I was laying there just like relaxing. And then as soon as I fell asleep, I got a text from Tyrone and another text from Tyrone. And then I got one from you. And then I got one from someone else. So I was like, oh.
Wait, when did I text you?
I don't know. You said like safe trip or something like that.
Way to go, you insane.
No. At 12:01.
Yeah, that's really early.
For me, yeah. No, I completely agree. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it.
I think in the past, you usually just do an all-nighter or whatever.
I waited until 2:01.
Yeah, I didn't do an all-nighter because I wanted to stay up as much as possible with Mom Breen while she was driving, and I stayed up minus like an hour. As soon as I laid down, man. Yeah, did I talk about that on the podcast? We were driving from North Carolina home. We had the windows open there's another bee. Almost the entire time.
Inside?
And then I went to lay down. I reclined the seat, and like 30 seconds later, a bee, I didn't even know this happened, a bee flew in the window and stung me in the neck. Like I felt something, and I was like, oh, my beard's caught on my necklace. And I went to grab my necklace because I was like, this hurts more than that. And I grabbed a bee out of my beard, and I threw it at the windshield. I was like, Mom, Brett, I just got stung. She's like, what? And I was like, look, there's a bee right there.
Like a honeybee or a wasp?
What was it?
It was a honeybee.
Wow, that's
like
weird.
a furry. It wasn't like a yellow jacket.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it was like a furry honeybee.
Like a bumblebee?
Like a, yeah.
Wow, that's unusual.
Definitely.
That's what I said. It didn't
right
sting you because I didn't think they really stung.
Oh, bumbles?
Like a furry one
or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because it was still alive.
For like a good 5 minutes, it was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it woke up and started to like crawl towards me. And Mom was like, take this cup. So I put it in a cup and flicked it out the window. But yeah,
I put it in the cup and then I went to take a drink.
What am I doing?
It's defending itself somehow.
So yeah, that was fun. All right, that's all we got, guys. Thanks for joining us on late notice. I know we didn't start the show right away when we usually do because I was getting the site back up to speed. But we're good to go.
Water pass, so everything's behind, like you said.
That's it. Yeah, that's my excuse. But yeah, we're good to go. Everything's back up to speed now. The site's good to go. We're home, and everything will continue as usual. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Wish us best of luck on eating the hot dog pizza.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, oh, sure. Yeah.
We got to redo the podcast.
freaks out sometimes, but I have a thing to save it. I'm game.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of it.
I'll do it. I'd rather die with my friends than die alone.
That's beautiful. And chances are you will meet that fate. Has anybody, thank you very much, R42, has anybody in the IRC eaten this monstrosity of pizza?
Nobody has.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
No way. All of our listeners have better sense than that. But I am freaking tired.
There we go. It's being saved.
Yeah.
I was watching Diners, Drive-ins, Drills, and Dives.
Yeah.
And this one breakfast place, I was like, this looks awesome. And then I realized he said New Jersey. It was in Jersey City. They take a oversized pancake and make an omelet and put it inside of the pancake and then roll it over so it's like a wrap.
Yeah. That's pretty
And
cool.
they just let it cook for a little bit and like they pull it off and it's all like gooey and stuff.
Burn and Cheese says, a bee flew into my car window once. Its head fell off and the window slit. Its body fell onto the floor. Then I opened the door to get it out and the body flew away without a head.
Well, that's great, but what does that tell us about the hot dog pizza?
TAW says, a hot dog pizza. Well, I have a hamburger pizza in the fridge right now, but I have better common sense than to eat a hot dog pizza. Oh, that Bacon Bits says that. But
a hamburger or a ham sandwich?
Yeah,
pizza?
no, he's probably thinking about a pizza with hamburger meat on as a topping. That's not what we're talking. This isn't a pizza with hot dog meat as a topping. This is something completely ridiculous.
Well, yeah, seriously. Seriously.
Hey, you want cortisone for your
no, I'm fine.
schmutz?
Why does it look bad?
Move your hand.
No,
No, it doesn't look bad. I mean, you
No,
can
fine.
tell it's there, but
I think I got stung once mowing the lawn, but didn't know what it was. Like I felt like a,
Mhm.
you know, I went past one of the trees in my yard.
see if they want to go to.
Felt like a real sharp
Needles?
sting, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" But like I thought maybe I hit a branch
Yeah.
or something.
No, they sent that.
Yeah,
back.
you
But then
pricked
nothing
yourself.
swole up.
Well, yeah, if it was a honeybee, then you'll be fine because there's things.
Oh, yeah, I'm not worried about
If it was a yellow jacket, you'd be.
it.
Oh my god! If it was a yellow jacket, it'd be like, dude, oh yeah, yeah.
You like that? I'm gonna get you on the other side.
R42 says, since KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell are all the same company, I can imagine someone putting nacho toppings onto that chicken pizza thing for the unholy triumvirate. That would be death. All right, I got to save the show a different way, so I'm going to go. But again, thank you for watching and listening.
Trade secrets.
And we will see you next week at regular time. Goodbye.
Peace out.
And